Welcome to today's exciting story. Get ready for a chaotic crash in a marriage. The duration of this marriage is even shorter than the shelf life of a chocolate bar. Traditional and conservative religions are simply outdated and out of step with the times. Let's hope for a delightful surprise. After all, two people fell head over heels in love without even realizing it. They didn't expect to act in such a farce, but things suddenly took a dramatic turn. Even though they knew the road ahead was thorny, they stubbornly entered the prison of marriage, and this courage could be called supreme romance. Amidst the guest toasts, filled with heartfelt blessings, this celebratory vibe wasn't even over yet. Suddenly, a sharp voice shattered the tranquility, as Diego's stunning ex-wife stormed in like a hurricane. The more she spoke, the angrier she got, even lifting her skirt to reveal her rain-soaked white legs, mocking Frida as if she were nothing. All the guests hurriedly searched for a reaction like they were watching an off-Broadway drama, while Diego acted like an uninterested bystander. A cold, sardonic smile graced her lips, as if she were enjoying the feast unfolding before her. Regarding Frida's performance, she decided to just act like she didn't see it. In that moment, the halo around the ideal partner vanished, leaving the brutal truth of marriage exposed like a bad magician's trick. Pain slammed Frida's heart like a sledgehammer. Lost in confusion, Diego even allowed his ex-wife to live upstairs without a care. To add insult to injury, she was calmly enjoying the delicious dishes sent from downstairs. Bottled-up anger finally burst forth, and Frida couldn't hold back any longer, raced upstairs to confront that woman. The anticipated duel never happened. Last night's craziness seemed to evaporate like a hangover. Subtitle: That woman seemed exceptionally serene in the morning glow, as though she were in a ghostly state. And just like that, the two women forged a bond in the kitchen, becoming the ones who understood each other's pain the best. To win Diego's heart, Frida tried to master cooking, but flipping a spatula's no match for wielding a paintbrush. After numerous attempts, she finally realized she was not cut out to be the perfect housewife. So she picked up the paintbrush, her soul's extension and the anchor of their marriage, too bad. However, her husband was growing more and more distant day by day, and one day she detected an unfamiliar scent emanating from him, causing Frida's anger to soar. She boldly invited her husband to the tavern, openly flirting with other men, flaunting her charm. Her demeanor seemed to declare that even without her, her world would still shine brightly. However, when Diego faced political backlash, it might be that they were more like comrades in arms for their careers. Soon, Diego received an art creation invitation from New York, and the two set off for America. Immersed in a materialistic environment, Diego's original aspiration gradually got lost in the whirlpool of desire. Yet Frida remained fully aware that this was in stark contrast to their political beliefs. After several fruitless attempts to persuade, she gradually faded out of Diego's social circle, either hiding in hotel rooms or passing time in theater. Ultimately, she sought companionship elsewhere, and their marriage declined to a mere phantom in the hesitation of both. Although the intimacy of yesteryear evaporated like smoke, the resonance in art still tightly bound them together. When reporters asked Diego about Frida during interviews, he always showered her with praise. He declared that his wife's work surpassed his own, which surprised Frida. As a result, she revealed her pregnancy, the arrival of this little miracle. He was concerned that her body couldn't take it, but under Frida's insistence, he had no choice but to support her. However, this fleeting happiness, like a flower that withers before blooming, vanished abruptly in a quiet night. Frida collapsed in the blood-soaked bed, doing everything she could. She saved his life but forever took away her ability to bear children. At this moment, Frida truly understood the unpredictability of fate, see it both gives and takes away. Driven by great sorrow, she insisted on getting the fetus remains back, as Frida, in pain and medicated, poured out her profound grief. Through her brush, she unleashed her emotions upon the canvas, resulting in a compelling artwork. This painting not only marked a breakthrough in her artistic career but also established her personal suffering as her creative muse. Gradually, she even felt dazed, struggling to discern whether suffering made her or she had become the embodiment of suffering. Waves of sorrow had not yet calmed when news reached her of her mother's illness. She hurried home just in time to see her mother one last time. Simultaneously, her injured sister returned home. While sisterly reunions should be heartwarming, similar marriage crises loom. Stretched between them is only silence, while their father lovingly tended to their mother's cherished plants in the garden. He mentioned to Frida how her mother used to bicker with him over these flowers, but since his illness, tending to the garden became his duty. Frida casually picked a wilting flower and tucked it behind her ear. After burying her mother, she returned to America. She appeared to draw from a deeper internal strength. Meanwhile, Dick faced a crisis at work. The client who commissioned him to paint flowers was deeply unhappy with the political undertones in his work, ordering a complete overhaul. But the artist's principles wouldn't allow for a compromise. The power of capital crushed the mural he poured his heart into.